just a bloke in a bar.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another Packer Up, boys. And as always, well, not always, we forgot last week because we were too busy talking nonsense, but as always, the tradition. There it is, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the good stuff. That's mother's milk, baby. Bloke Beer, brought to you by Bloke Beer. Get down to your local, grab a case of Bloke Beer. It is the beer of Australian sport, and it is absolutely beautiful. If you have tried the lager and it's not your thing, give the midi a try. But the lager is absolutely beautiful as well, guys. Really easy drinking lager, goes down really well. And as I said, it is the beer of Australian sport. No other beer provides the content we do around sport. No other beer loves sport the way we live and breathe that stuff. But also, before we get past it, 50% sale is still going. Now, look, a lot of stuff sold out, but there's still 200 jerseys left. So only 200, and so there's only two sizes left, large and extra large.
Yep.
So currently, the bloke jerseys are only $60. There's some, $60, and these are high-quality jerseys. There's also DMP shirts left. There's some board shorts left, some thongs left, a few cooler bags left. So if you want to get a present or even get something for yourself, it is 50% off absolutely everything until stocks go.
There's a few cooler bags left. The cooler bags I've gotten a lot of use out of in the last few years. I reckon that's a perfect gift for someone.
Cooler bag,
Chrissy.
like even other blokes.
Yeah.
Like bloke to bloke.
Yeah.
Bloke on bloke crime.
Absolutely.
But the opposite. Bloke on bloke love. I tell you what, it's one of those things like, what do you get your mate without it being like, oh, bruh, fuck off.
Get your mate a bloke cooler bag.
A bloke cooler bag's like, listen, man, I'm here to help, and I love you, but at the same time, enjoy yourself with some beers, mate.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's not weird.
It's not, you make it weird. Like, you got him like a fucking G-string or something. That's weird. Maybe, you know what, get a bloke cooler bag, put a G-string in it. Just to lighten the mood a little bit. You know, he might be like, getting all weird, I'm starting to feel something. Oh, I'm a bloke, fuck, put those feelings back in a box. You say, you know what, put the feelings in the cooler bag, baby. Look, is that really unhealthy and part of the reason why there's a lot of bad stuff going on with blokes? Yeah, I think it is. So that was just a joke. Let your feelings out of the box in a non-crazy way. And also to a professional, not just random people on the internet.
100%. Speak
to a professional. But yeah, 50% off absolutely everything on the website. We are going to try, because we absolutely did not expect those shirts and singlets to sell out as quickly as they did. And no, we didn't just have 50 singlets and 50 shirts. Like we ordered decent numbers. It's just like, it's just hard to judge. It is so hard to judge.
We ordered a certain amount, and then last minute we added more.
I added more.
Yeah.
So we actually had less, and I was like, look, we'll just add more just in case. Because the problem is there's a lot of people going, why don't you just, get what you think you're going to, or not even what you think you're going to, but just get heaps. And it's like, well, the concern is if you get, way too many, you've got shirts and singlets just sitting there on the website.
Yeah.
And then it's also sitting in a warehouse. And what you basically get to a point where this audience, the bloke community, let's say they have everyone from that bloke community that wanted that shirt, let's say they get it. Then they move on to the next drop. You know what I mean? They're waiting for the next drop that might happen in 3 or 4 months. And then, so just the new people that come in, they get the next drop too. They don't go back to the old. So it's just really hard to balance out, because you don't want to be sitting on stock pretty much.
Exactly.
You don't want to be sitting on stock. So it's really hard to balance. So we'll do our best always going forward. You guys know that, but I know they went in literally freaking like a minute or two. So we're just going to, what I'm going to try to do, and we'll see how we go. Can't confirm yet. But with the singlets and the shirts, and as I said, I cannot confirm yet, we'll try to get more printed, and they will be released at 50% off as well. So if we do it, if we can do it before Chrissy, they will be 50% off. But we have not confirmed whether we can do it or not. So yeah, if you want a jersey, a DMP shirt, get on there. Matty, how you been, mate?
Good. It was yesterday we were had a few dry. You probably haven't noticed, but there's no bins here in the studio anymore.
Okay.
So yesterday, like, everything was going right. It was a good day. And at about 5:40, so 20 minutes until the sale, and I'm like, I have to do a million things. I'm like stressing out, blah, blah, blah. There was like, it was 5:40, and I had nothing to do. And like, so I had 20 minutes to kill and I didn't want to just wait there. So I was like, I'll just set up for Packer Up Boys. So I started setting up and I grabbed the monitor, which is sitting in front of me over there where I sit in my studio, which is right near where we do the player interviews. And the monitor clipped a can of beer. Oh. And I'm in the middle of the, like, you can't see the studio, obviously.
Were you having a beer?
No. It was closed. That's the problem.
Okay.
And so it hit the side. So like it hit the side and it started going, psh.
Oh my God.
And like we have a lot of equipment in here. So obviously my first reaction was to like, just to cover it, but it just went out. And then I was like, all right, don't like point it towards anything expensive. So I poured it, like it's just reactionary, right?
Yeah. Went
bang, straight to me. Then I poured it straight to the thing. I'm like, fuck, what do I do? The only way is to throw it in that bin over there. So yeah, there was like a huge beer trail. I avoided everything and I just like let it explode in the bin.
Yeah.
But then I remembered, so last year when we went for Christmas break, I left shit in the bins and we came back in January and there was beer flies here for ages. For like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and then keep in mind, we've got the fucking sale in like 10 minutes. I'm like, I'm just going to sort this out later. We do the sale and I forget about it. And then I'm like, fuck, I'm about to leave. I'm like, oh fuck, there's like an exploded beer in the thing. So the bins, like the actual bins are still there, but like the little thing inside it, you're sitting out there. So yeah, had a bit of a Barry before the sale yesterday. But other than that, everything's good.
Everything's good. No, I mean, talk about the timing. It's like, oh my God, why?
I know. But when it happened, I sat down and it was like 5:55. I'm like, all right, my bad thing for the day has gotten out of the way at the right time. So everything at the sale will be good, which it was. So
the stressful thing about the sale is like, it's not a hard thing to get set up. It's just like hoping something doesn't go wrong.
Exactly. Something like out of your control and putting in skews. Like that's what, like I reckon.
Getting the right number, you recheck, check.
I honestly reckon I checked probably like at least 12 to 15 times throughout the day. It's just like OCD. But yeah, it was good.
It's like when you transfer money. And you just check and recheck and check the account number because you're like, have I got this wrong?
Yeah. Even if I've copied and pasted, I'm still like looking.
It's fucking mad. Yeah, tell you what I did do. So I was emailing. So I was getting emailed by someone. They wanted to call me at a certain time that we'd agree upon. Anyway, so I clicked his hyperlink for his phone number and copied it. But it was only like the 641 hyperlink. And I copied it, but he was supposed to call me anyway. He didn't call, so he had like an emergency, so he didn't call. But I didn't know this at the time, so I copied that and pasted it and texted it to say, "Hey mate, am I calling you or you're calling me?" He was supposed to call me, but I was just doing that politely, so I wasn't like, "Hey bro, are you going to call?" But the hyperlink was attached to a different number.
What?
So it didn't copy his number. It copied another employee in that company's number. Because it was a hyperlink connected to a different number, so I texted them, and I was like, "What?"
That makes no sense.
Well, the hyperlink is just still there, connected to a different number.
Oh, I got you.
So only the 641 whatever 641 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That was hyperlink, and then had his number beside that. But I just pressed the 641,
and
copy, paste it, and it's still linked.
Oh, that's so.
Because when they messaged me back and said, "Oh, this is the wrong number," I was like, "How's it wrong? How can that be?"
Especially because he hasn't called you as well, so you would have been wigging out.
Well, I was just like, "What? The wrong number?" Okay, but yeah, so it is what it is. It is what it is. Big weekend ahead in sport. Aussies get the job done, and look, guys, I understand that there's going to be a lot of cheering, a lot of carry on about the Beaks. Best multi, getting up off the bat. A lot of people going on. A lot of people having a big weekend because of it. I get it. Celebrations across the nation. I understand that is going to probably happen. But the way I see it is why? Do you celebrate when the sun comes up? Do you celebrate when it goes down? No, you don't, because it's expected. And real champions don't celebrate stuff like that. You lay your first multi out there for cricket. You absolutely nail the multi. And it was an ambitious multi too.
Fucking very ambitious.
Extremely ambitious. The first ever multi put together for the people to follow. And you nailed it. And as I said, a lot of people are going to be celebrating, but real champions like me who expect excellence, who expect this kind of result, Just another day at the office.
Like just a next job type situation.
Next job. That's what I said to myself when I come through. I said, next job. I was actually surprised when people started messaging me celebrating. I was going, next job, baby. Next job. Real Cam Smith kind of vibe. That's what real Cam Smith kind of vibes when it comes. Tom Brady. Am I the Cam Smith, Tom Brady, Joey Johns of multis? At the moment, I am. At the moment, I am.
For those that don't know, I'm sure everyone does, but it was Australia to win, into Travis Head to score a 50, into Paddy Cummins, three more wickets, paying $15.50 on Sportsbet.
And you know what?
Ridiculous.
You know what? You know how I knew that Paddy was going to do that?
How's it? Why?
Because I told him a few weeks ago to bowl the wickets.
That's right. And we haven't lost since then. You were sitting on that chair, and we haven't lost since then.
So, Australia ODI team, you're welcome. You're welcome. It's almost like the opposite of the Drake curse. It's the Beak Boyer, the Boyer of boys.
Yeah.
It's the Beak buoying the boys. That's what it is.
Just quick side thing. We spoke about it yesterday. I ended up watching a bit of the film clip, the Drake and J. Cole film clip. Far out.
It's amazing.
Far out.
But let's get back to the Beak Boyer of boys.
Yeah.
Reverse curse. So it's almost like a spell. What would be the reverse of a curse? Could you look up what the reverse of a curse is? Because that's what this is. Because we can look at other scenarios as well. Beak gets photographed with Ezra Mam the night before grand final. Ezra Mam scores 3 tries. Now you could delve deeper into that and say, well, Broncos didn't win and we got beaten and lost by the record margin. But I'm talking about specifics here. When you talk about buoying the boys, you got to go into specifics. Specifics are, I wasn't pictured with the whole team. I was pictured with Ezra Mam. Rookie in his second year, only played 14 games before, essentially a rookie. Goes out, scores 3 tries in the grand final to get us back in it. And that's what I'm talking about when I talk about the opposite of a curse.
Right. So there's not a name for it, but there's a couple little things, but this one piqued my interest. Shoko's ability. Shoko produces the rare ability to use reverse curse technique, which she can use to regenerate lost limbs and heal wounds.
So is that a game or something like that?
I don't know.
It's definitely a game. But the reverse of a curse. So it's a blessing. Beak's blessing. That's what it is. Beak's blessing. That's the name. Beak's blessing.
Beak's blessing.
You're welcome, the Australian ODI team. You're welcome. Now, look, do you actually call it the ODI team or do you call it a one-day team? Well, I'm not sure.
No, ODI team is fine.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. So, look, Tonkin cherries. Look, guys, I can bowl your pies, but I can't make you hit 6. I can walk you to the crease. I can't make you bat. You know, I can tonk a cherry in high in the air. It's as big as a fucking pumpkin when it gets to you. I can't make you catch the ball. So if you ever want to get on board, you can get on board now. The bandwagon's pretty much already full. I get it. There's a thing to be got, which is cricket. I get it. It's been gotten. I just get cricket. I get cricket. You're welcome.
It was, remarkable that the multi got up, especially because Cummins got his 3 wickets so late as well. So
we knew that. We knew that though.
Yeah, it doesn't matter when you get them.
We knew that.
Doesn't matter when you get them.
But see, that's where your cricket analysis starts and ends.
Okay.
The reason why he was going to come in late is what is Paddy known for? Stepping up in the big moments when the pressure is coming. And so I knew that. I looked back over all the data over the last couple of years since he's been captain. Remember that incredible 100 runs or whatever that he made, not hundreds, when he was late in the batting order.
Oh, in the Ashes.
And we needed Paddy to hold on.
Actually, that was incredible, yeah.
And then, you know what? And so my analysis of the game, that's why you're not Mr. Cricket.
Gotcha, yes.
I'm Mr. Cricket.
Okay, yeah.
And that's why Hammy, he's a bum when it comes to cricket analysis.
Yep.
He wouldn't have got that.
No.
He wouldn't have got that.
Not at all.
I knew that Paddy does his best work when the pressure is at the highest point.
Okay.
That's how I knew the crickets would come late. When I was watching the game last night, just sitting there with a bloke beer in my hand, and people were, kind of almost feeling like the Beak blessing wasn't true. Didn't sweat once. Just knew that Paddy Blue Eyes gets the job done late in.
Look, I got to admit, I was a bit of a doubter I was watching it with Hammy, actually, and we left when we were 6 down and we were kind of laughing because Paddy hadn't got a wicket yet. And we were like, looks like the Beak's best isn't going to get anywhere close. And then out of nowhere, bang, bang, bang.
So you're welcome. You're welcome, boys. And look, there's whispers I've scared the traders. So we're going to go again.
Yep.
We're going to go again. Beak's best, or maybe we change it to Beak's blessings. Beak's best, we're going to go multi. We're going to go this. I've watched the tapes. I've read the articles. I've analysed the data. Warner for 40 plus.
40 plus?
Paddy, 2 or more wickets.
Yep.
Virat, less than 50 runs.
Okay.
We did it. There it is. You're welcome.
Let me see. I'll message Hammy now.
Message Hammy now. We'll try and get them to price it up and see how we go. And if they can even do that, that's the Beak's best or the Beak's blessing for the week. Look, now a lot of you are going to go when this potentially in some crazy world doesn't get up, going to say I've lost my touch, going to say don't get around it.
Was it Cummins 2 plus?
Cummins 2 plus.
Yep.
Warner 40 plus.
And Coley to not get 50.
To not get 50. See, that's what you call good, honest, true data analysis. And we're going to see. The fruit will be in the...
Well, hopefully by the end of this show, we'll get an answer on that.
We'll get an answer on that. But that's good, honest. That's good, honest. When you've got the data like I do and access to data that a lot of people don't have access to, that's when you get results like this.
Well, congratulations, Dennis.
It is what it is. And you know what? Everyone that got on board, there was some bloke that put 50 on.
Oh, that's insane. Like
The bloke
$15.
The bloke that put 50 on deserves a medal. He's the bloke that's going charging in. Like when you're in the trenches and you're about to charge the enemy line, you want that bloke behind you.
Yeah.
Because like, let's say we've never met, but we're in the same army, we're in the same country. He doesn't even know if I'm a fucking good soldier. He just fucking got behind me for the first charge and just went with me. $50.
Yeah, that's bold.
That's bold. Move. And you know what? Guess what, baby? We broke enemy lines.
Paid off?
We broke enemy lines and we progressed our line. So the bloke that went 50 on it, far out. And it was paying like, what, $10 or $13.50 or something?
$15.50.
$15.50. There you go.
Fuck.
So I scared the traders. They don't want to deal with me. They don't want to deal with me. I'm honestly, they don't want to deal with me. So that's it. Beak's best. Beak's blessings. You're welcome. Now let's get to the game. We started extremely well.
Oh, yeah. Great start.
And then it looked like, oh, we're about to shit the bed. What did you make of the game?
Yeah, so basically started incredibly well. Stark just went bang, bang, bang. The rain delay was a bit annoying because we had them 4 down. We had a bit of momentum, so things kind of slowed down for a bit. And then just out of nowhere, Travis Head just bowled someone. And he's not even a bowler. He's a part-time bowler. He just went bang. Then the next ball, he got someone out, so he was on a hat-trick. He was bowling really well. I went to bed before the second innings, but looking at the scorecard, Travis Head got the most runs for us, so clearly I'd say he would have been man of the match or certainly right up there. But South Africa, they choke again. So they've choked in. Was it
a choking though, or was it just?
Well, it's not a choke, but I think because they always lose the game before the World Cup final, they always like choke at this stage.
Isn't choking losing games you should have won?
Correct. And right, maybe they didn't choke in this game, but
it's almost a curse to a degree.
A curse. That's probably a better way to put it. Yeah. So 1992, they made the semi-final and lost. 1999, we actually tied the game because
that was choking because blokes dropped poor balls.
He literally dropped the ball while he was celebrating catching it. Oof. And Steve Waugh famously said, "You just dropped the World Cup," which which he claims he didn't actually say, but let's just say he said it. Then in 2007, I think it was, and 2015, they made the same stage again. So they've made it 5 or 6 times now, which is pretty tough.
Look, I don't know. I mean, look, I know a lot about cricket, but in a world where I don't know a lot about cricket, they weren't expected to win. We went in as favourites, correct?
So in this game, I think we were slight favourites. Yeah,
and also we're a good cricket side. So
we're better than them.
Yeah, it's not like you know, it's not like who got to the finals and choked this year in league. You know what I mean? It's not like. I mean, you know what? It's not like Broncos' year where they choked at the back end of the year against poor sides.
Yeah. Like South Africa were gun in they were the best cricketing team in the world for 5 or 6 years from about 2010, around 2010, 2015. They choked in the semi-final in 15 for sure.
Who they play then?
New Zealand, one of the best games of all time. And then they also choked in the 99. So they have choked a couple times. But yeah, you're right. It's to the point. They didn't choke in this game at all. It's just that they've gotten to this stage so many times. And I actually love South Africa as a cricketing team. I've always been a huge fan of them. Like, obviously, as an Australian cricket fan, you hate England, you hate India, but South Africa always got a lot of respect for.
Weren't South Africa the ones that, like, wasn't there some dodgy stuff around the ball tampering where their camera crew was like picking us up, but they weren't picking up the opposite team doing bad stuff?
I actually don't know, to be honest. I know
it was against South Africa though, wasn't it?
It was against South Africa, the whole ball tampering situation.
Man, because I remember reading a while ago that like there was this conspiracy that the TV crew had intentionally gone to him, but there's plenty of times when TV crews can go to their home side doing dodgy. Because my understanding,
that wouldn't shock me at all.
My understanding in cricket is like, obviously I don't want Australians ball tampering. I don't at all. So I'm not sitting here going that then it should have been let go. If we're going to lose, I'd rather lose fairly than win by doing dodgy stuff. Like, and when I say dodgy stuff, I don't mean like bending the rules slightly. I mean like straight up just dodgy.
Straight up cheating, yeah.
But my understanding with cricket is every team does dodgy stuff.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like some Australians' defence against it was, hang on a sec, you're going to sit here and pretend we're the only ones that have ever ball tampered?
Oh, yeah, everyone ball. Not anymore, obviously, but before then, everyone was ball.
Yeah.
Like, it just was like the whole, you can't say it because you can't prove it type situation.
Okay. So, yeah, it's like unwritten kind of, like, you get away with it as much as you can get away with it.
I will say, though, people would do it like they do like dodgy things like with their, like they pick the ball or something. No one was sandpapering. That's the worst I've ever seen. Like, no one did what we did. Like, that was top level cheating and it was disgraceful. But there has been a lot of ball tampering.
So there's never been similar things where outside uses of something to tamper a ball?
There's been like lollies and stuff, and someone from Pakistan bit into a ball once, which is ridiculous. Sandpaper was the first of its kind, though.
Wow. Sandpaper is especially egregious because of the material he's using.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, it's a harsh material to fully fuck the ball.
There's no defending.
As I said, so I'm not sitting here saying, oh, we should have got away with it at all. I'm just saying that the context matters of like, it's like there was this kind of unwritten agreement between countries of like, yeah, we tamper a little bit, but clearly Australia stepped over that line.
We stepped over the line.
By a long way. And so that's what's so incredible about this team right now, because that has has a real opportunity to derail a nation for ages.
Seriously, yeah.
Think about how many young cricket players, you're a young 12-year-old and you're a gun cricketer and there's all footy players at your school and that shit happens. What do you reckon that 12-year-olds walking into school getting pumped with? You're tampering with cricket fucking sucks. Like, these are the things you don't think about as a fan, really. But as a young fella, it could dissuade you from because you've got other sports like footy players that are like, fuck cricket, don't like cricket, even though footy and cricket have a good crossover.
Yeah.
But, people start to talk shit. Or even if you're a 16-year-old and you go and you play for Australia in the under-16s, I don't even know if there is under-16s, but let's say there is. People could be sledging you about it.
Yep,
you know what I mean? There's so much of a knock-on effect.
I remember being at school. Was I at school or maybe I was just out of school. So I was even not even young enough for this. But I remember when the whole Cronulla Sharks Asada thing happened, the Sharks people in our group copped it all the time. Like, drug cheat.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that has an effect because then it's like, okay, someone's like, man, I don't want to support the Sharks anymore. I just get peppered for it.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's like it's going to be like an epidemic and no one's going to play cricket, but it does hurt the game, especially cricket, that a game that is associated with being a gentleman.
Exactly, yeah.
A higher class sport. And even though I disagree with that at all, what I'm saying is that they sell the image of,
for sure, yeah.
Buttoned up. All right, all you have to do is look at the Ashes last year and go, oh yeah, fucking Barnaby from England. Barnaby, like fourth, fifth wealth generation of wealth baby. There's apparently the biggest gentleman in the world is spraying players as they're walking off the field like like the normal fucking guy at Suncorp Stadium. It's like fucking killing New South Wales. You know what I mean? Like everyone tries to pretend that money, like class separates us as humans. Like,
mate, those members, those Barnabys you're talking about, were hissing and like spitting at the Australian players.
That's what I'm saying. Like everyone, but we're different. We're classy. We've got money and we have etiquette. And it's like, yeah, to a degree. But if you're in the same environment that the fucking average punter like you or me at Suncorp are, you're just like us, bro.
100%.
You are just like us. And you can hide behind your facade of like etiquette and politeness. It's like when it comes down to crunch, your environment shapes you and you are just like us.
Yeah.
And they were in a similar environment, a pressure cooker at sport. They love their sport. They love their country. And they acted like the fucking Queenslander two-head on the side of the stadium just going, fucking kill him.
Exactly right. Yeah.
And so what I just love about this current crop of Australian cricket players is the pride they've restored in the jersey for Australia. Like, think about how much more we love that Australian cricketing side. There were years, me even not as a cricketer fan, was like almost ashamed of that situation, and even the cricket side, because it happened, even though I'm sure every player wasn't involved in it. I'm not putting shit on each player. I'm just saying that it was such a dark day for Australian cricket. Even a non-cricket fan, I was like, you've represented our country so poorly in that.
No, speaking from personal experience, I definitely lost my love for the Australian cricket team that day. And it's probably come back since then, but geez, it took a long time.
Well, I know that I'm like a new comer to the sport, but like I'm really liking the characters we have now.
It's great.
You know, like I think Paddy Cummins is such an incredible leader. Like think about the pressure moments he stood up in so far, and also he stands up in his less preferred, usually in the batting situation.
Yeah, what you brought up previously, that knock he had in the Ashes was incredible.
Yeah, and we've already talked about all the things that have gone off field for him. Like think about what he had to withstand. This guy, he had to weather the, I guess, vitriol from essentially the greatest ever era of Australian cricket.
Yeah.
Because they were, a lot of the blokes that were Justin Langer's advocates were his teammates from his era.
From the golden era, yeah.
From his golden era. So think about that as a captain. You're an Australian captain. You looked up to these guys. So this is how strong Paddy Cummins' character is. He looked up to those guys. And I want to direct everyone to a clip. Elon Musk, regardless of what you think of him now, Elon Musk, there's a clip, and he's talking to an interviewer, and basically the interviewer goes, this astronaut, I'm not going to say that, like Neil Armstrong or something, it may not have been Neil Armstrong, but a very prominent astronaut has basically had a crack at you and said what you're doing to try to make space exploration to the common person viable is terrible, blah, blah, blah. Elon Musk is in tears because he said the thing that hurt the most is he's a big reason why I did this, and I looked up to him, and now he's telling me that it's terrible. Now, imagine Paddy Cummins, new captain of the Australian side. All these guys that are coming out and basically the implication is that he's wide-anning or that he's backstabbing or that, this next generation is soft. Now, again, I'm not saying all the people from Langer's generation did that, but to mine, like
there was a couple.
There was a couple. Think about your heroes saying that about you. How mentally strong you have to be to go, nah, this is what I believe in. This is my team, and I'm going to have their back.
I haven't thought about it from that perspective. That'd be that'd be devastating.
Devastating.
Yeah, like the guys you looked up to, your heroes, your childhood heroes, who you'd still admire, 100%. Just absolutely giving it
smashing
to
you. And basically like making out like he was the tip of the spear of the Langer being kind of removed. And look what Paddy Cummins has managed to do. I think it's incredible. And we discussed on the DMP. Look, is it as good as the golden era? If they do it for a few more years, maybe. But they've got to do it for substantially more years.
But
it's pretty bloody good.
If we win a World Cup in India, I would hoped we would win right at the start of the World Cup. I didn't think I'd ever see us win a one-day international World Cup in India. Like that would be crazy if we can pull this off.
I mean, we're in the finals.
Yeah.
We're in the finals. So we retained the Ashes. Langer was still the head coach when we won it in Australia, correct?
When we won it in Australia, Langer was.
But he was basically on his way out, which was so weird thing.
Yeah.
So grand final of ODI, We've won a World Cup as well. We retained the Ashes in England.
Wait.
Didn't we win a World Cup a couple of years ago? Oh, that was under Langer as well.
That was under Langer, yeah.
So since Paddy Cummins come over,
Yeah.
we're in a grand final.
Yep.
We won the other recent one,
Won the World Test Championship, yeah.
World Test Championship. Retained the Ashes in England.
In England, which is impossible.
And we're in, this is a pretty good run. Like a pretty good run from Paddy Cummins as a
Incredible.
captain. Yeah.
It's crazy, especially, as you said, to do all this away from home. It was funny. There was this quote that came out. Oh, I can't remember who said it. Some old English captain the other day came out and said, the reason England aren't doing well in the World Cup is because they had to deal with an Ashes series. Obviously, they were like dealing with that.
I saw this.
And I'm just like, hang on. Firstly, it's a home Ashes series for you, so you didn't have to go anywhere. Second of all, Australia had to go to you to play that Ashes series. We played a test series in India before that, plus we played the World Test Championship, plus we're playing a World Cup in India as well, and we're in the final. Like, that is so stupid. But the point of that is, we've gone away India, where we didn't win, but we never win in India. Away World Test Championship, which we won. Away Ashes, which we retained. And now, even if we lose, it's still incredible what he's done.
Yeah.
So you're right. I think it's been an incredible year for Pat Cummins.
Well, put it this way. I could never imagine Paddy Cummins saying something like that. And if he did, I'd be like, mate, take the captaincy off him. That is actually disgraceful.
That was laughable.
And think about how much you got to be in your own bubble to complain like, oh, we've had all this tough run. It's like, bro, you're not the only team.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's that tough
We're playing an international tournament.
Yeah.
Everyone's come from around the world.
Whatever's going on in England, again, I don't know much about at all, nothing about cricket, but I know a bit about the mentality of sport, and they are so far up their own arse. It's actually crazy.
The Beckham doco really opened my eyes a bit as well, how he had that one red card or whatever, and then they just turn on him. It's more the team seems to be like in their own bubble. Like, and maybe I'm just getting cherry picked quotes from the team. Because that was a quote from the captain, wasn't it? Not the current captain, but a former captain.
Yeah. He had a doco about him. He's a mad batter, eh? The redhead.
Oh, Stokes. Sorry, Stokes did say something. Yeah, you're right. It wasn't that quote. The quote I said was something else. Stokes did say something similar. I can't remember. I'll try to look it up.
Yeah.
But you're right.
Yeah. So, but anyway, regardless, I just think that the England side, they seem to be so caught up in their own bubble of this whole Bazball fucking whatever the fuck it is, that like just the excuses, like take some responsibility and accountability of like, we should be doing way better than this, and like coming out and saying, oh, the spirit of the game, and like, we're making cricket entertaining again. Like, I just don't get it. I don't get it.
I think it was the one you're talking about where Joe Root, who plays in their team now, is the former captain, said, like for like, we take our team.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So there's been plenty.
There's been plenty
of comments.
You talk. I'll look at the quote that I was looking at.
But so I was looking at the odds for this game. I think Australia at 290, which is not probably about what I expected. But yeah, I was talking to.
Sorry, it was Nasser Hassan.
Nasser Hassan said that one. He used to be that captain.
So like, and he doesn't currently play though?
No, he retired years ago.
But it's like, so Nasser Hassan, you should know, having led your country, like this does not help the boys.
Yeah, exactly.
This rhetoric is just excuses.
Yeah.
This is the quote. It's hard for England because of the timing of the World Cups on the back of an Ashes series. There's so much focus on the Ashes that come to the end of it, you are mentally exhausted. Now, look, maybe that's been taken out of context.
Maybe.
But it's like, bro, they're professional, like athletes. They're at a World Cup. Like imagine Australia come out after getting pumped by New Zealand and saying, man, really, really long to see. Like,
Well, imagine Cleary, has a really big Origin series, and then the next 6 weeks at Penrith, he goes shit, and he's like, oh, it's just been such a big Origin series. Like, I can't go back to Penrith.
I don't like. Let's say, okay, he kills it in Origin, Cleary. Then they bow out of the finals.
Yeah,
because they're not just not winning the World Cup. So it's like this. Cleary has not even a good Origin.
Yeah.
So not even a good Origin.
Yeah.
So he has bang average Origin. Gets back to Penrith, plays terrible. They miss the finals, and then he comes out and basically says, and I know Nasser Hassan is not a current player, but basically comes out and says, "Oh man, we were all super tired after Origin, and that's why." It'd be like, mate,
Yeah, come on.
even if that's the truth, it's like just don't say that.
Don't say it at all.
And then the other quote of I would have picked my own, all my own players. It's like, bro, I get having the boys back, but just
read the room, bro. Like you're coming last.
You're coming last.
Yeah. And then we pumped them 2 days later, or we didn't pump, but we beat them 2 days later.
It's just bizarre. And again, maybe because we're Aussies, we're cherry picking their quotes.
Very, very possible.
And so it's just that they cherry pick our quotes, we cherry pick their quotes. Yeah. And so and I'd love to know what the English fans think, because they would have more context of this environment that's getting created. For example, if a Pommy came to you and said, fucking Paddy Cummins, this and that, you know way more about it because that's the Australian side. So if we've got any English listeners, let us know, like, what's the feeling? Because outside looking into me, it looks like you've got a team that's in its own little bubble and they're almost, there's not enough pressure on them to perform and lose their spots. So they can keep giving each other excuses to keep doing this kind of stuff. Like, for example, the Bazball, it's like the best excuse ever.
I know. Yeah, so true.
When you win, we're the greatest. We did it in an exciting way. We killed it. You know, everyone was watching. Look how exciting cricket was. When you lose, you go, well,
we're just trying this.
We're playing Bazball.
We're playing Bazball.
You know what I mean? So it's like this win, like like you get out of jail free card that you can just...
That's good for community OzTag, but you're playing professional sport, the whole country's behind you. You want to win.
You're representing your country.
Yeah.
So I'd love to know what an Englishman thinks. Are we totally off base here? Is there merit in what seems to be excuses coming out of the English camp, or are we cherry picking quotes because there's such a rivalry? I'd love to hear an English person's perspective, and happy to be wrong. So, if you want to say, mate, totally wrong, there's a reason for this, and that quote was cherry picked, and happy to get more information on it, because it's very likely we could be wrong and we're cherry picking because they're our rivals.
I mean, and you're right. Like, we don't listen to, like, they probably like read interviews. Like, our media would cherry pick theirs just to get likes and stuff.
Get likes and then we just go, holy shit. But I mean, that quote is pretty hectic. Like,
that is, yeah.
It's like, bro, you do realise Australia went through.
All right, so we got some odds.
Okay.
So Warner 40 plus, into Cummins 2+ wickets, into Kohli to not get 50 is $7.80.
I mean, I've clearly scared the traders, guys.
I like that, actually.
That's actually really good.
So the exact wording is for Kohli under 49.5 runs.
Under 49.5 runs. So that'll be Beak's blessing, Beak's best. Probably on the main page. Sportsbet can't get enough of it. Surely, come on. So chuck a sneaky little $5 on it. As always, guys, don't go crazy. Only put what you can afford on it. Whether that's 5, whether that's 50, whatever. Whatever you can afford, only pump what you can afford, guys, please. But yeah, I mean, thanks to Sportsbet. I just find this so fun.
Oh,
it's so fun that we get to do this with Sportsbet.
100%.
Like, fun little multis. Again, as I said, I don't want people going crazy on these multis at all. I just want it to be fun, enjoyable stuff. Because if it gets off, we get to have fun. If not, you get to put shit on me.
Cricket multis are fun too, because the game's so long. You're riding it the whole time, especially the wicket taker ones.
Mate, imagine the blokes on the multis with the Paddy Cummins last 3 wickets. They would be going, oh, come on.
So good.
So, yeah. But anyway, as I said, English, if there's any English listeners, please let us know in the YouTube comments or, on Instagram or whatever. Would love to hear, I guess, a more correct analysis because you have more information. But from the outside looking in, looks like England are in their own bubble. And because there's probably, I'm assuming, not that much pressure on spots for some reason, they're able to give each other excuses. Usually, when there's a lot of pressure on spots, that demands, if you don't play well, you are gone. So I'm not sure. Not sure. But, I mean, talk about a disaster. But if Australia win, where do you reckon this ranks? If Australia win, where do you reckon it ranks?
Oh, God, it'd be right up there. Like, in the one-day circuit, like... So we won the 99 World Cup, 03 World Cup, 07 World Cup. 99, man, I was barely even born. I don't know where that was. 2003, I think it was in England. 99 was in England. 2003 was South Africa. 2007 was in West Indies. The game finished basically in the dark. It was crazy. And then we won in 2015 at home, which was awesome, but it's at home. I reckon and like, feel free to disagree with anyone, but like, I reckon a subcontinent World Cup win would be our greatest World Cup achievement.
Really?
I just think we don't. They're not our conditions. It's just
So have we ever won a World Cup in India?
no. The last World Cup in India won in 2011, and they were playing. Was it Pakistan or Sri Lanka? Either way, they were playing like someone from the subcontinent. So it's very rare for this to happen. We did win a T20 World Cup in the subcontinent once, but that one we're not counting that.
And like India's going to doctor the shit out of the pitch.
Oh yeah. They're going to suit their conditions, which every team does. But they'd probably do a little more.
So man, if the boys get up,
it'll be fit. It'll be amazing. It's going to be tough. It's going to be so tough. India looking good, and as much as I don't like to give credit to Virat Kohli because it's been him versus Steve Smith their whole career, but he got his 50th one-day 100 the other day, which is just ridiculous. Yeah. Just ridiculous. So
now, Raiders CEO Don Furner said Ricky Stewart will contact David Fifita's management again to try and get him to the Raiders.
Third time lucky. That was the headline.
I'm confused here because didn't the Titans CEO say there's a lot of misinformation out there about Fifita's contract?
Yeah. But I think from what we know, he's got a player option, or maybe there's a certain thing in the contract.
Maybe he's already agreed to it or something.
Probably. Yeah. Maybe he's spoken to Des already and so on.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Because very strange that the Raiders CEO would just come out and say this. It's almost like they're trying to mess with the Titans salary cap to a degree.
Yeah, true.
Because like if you're going to do it, just do it privately. But to publicly say we're going to give him a call,
and
it's
this
like,
isn't the first time they've publicly reached out. Like, we've known about these rumors for ages now.
I don't think he's going.
Oh no, I don't think he'll go. I don't blame Canberra for having a crack.
Oh, for sure, don't blame him. But at the same time, I kind of do because I'm like, hey, you don't need more forwards.
Don't need more forwards.
You absolutely need to invest more in spine.
Just the whole spine, yeah.
Like it's almost bizarre. Like the last thing they need is forwards. Now I understand Elliot Whitehead is retiring soon.
Yeah.
Most likely, you think this is going to be his last year. But it's surely they can find, like their forward pack is not an issue.
No, their forward pack's one of the best in the comp.
Look what they friggin' nearly beat Newcastle with key players out of their forward pack.
Yeah.
Papali'i, Horsburgh. You know what I mean? Like, very, very strange.
But you're right. I think Fifita will stay.
Well, okay. So you're willing to go to the Raiders who, finished a little bit better, but like live on the Gold Coast on $800,000 a year, or go to the Raiders on $800,000 a year, maybe $1 million, but probably $800,000 a year.
Whatever it is, they wouldn't be able to offer much more than the Titans.
Yeah.
But I doubt it'd be more.
So it's like to live in Canberra, like what?
Yeah. Because the money's not the issue in Titans.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he's not saying on unders for lifestyle. He's on massive coin on the best place literally in the country to live.
Yeah, I can't see him going.
I don't.
I understand. The more I thought about it, I can understand why it all happened, like new coach and everything. But it's Des Hasler. He's one of the best of all time. Like I don't see it.
The only way I see David Fifita going is if a spot opens up at a top tier club and he's looking for a premiership.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can see happening. But not for at least. I don't see.
That's the thing. I don't see that happening soon.
No,
maybe after the whole current contract in 3 years.
Yeah,
maybe. But nah.
But as I said, if there's a top tier club that's like a top 4 club and a spot opens up, like Roosters, I'm not sure what's happening with Angus Crichton, Satilli, and that, and they're looking for a hectic edge. But you know what I mean? Like if that happened, I could see it. But I don't see him going to a club that is. I wouldn't say definitely not going to win a comp in the next year or two because anything can happen in rugby league, but it's highly unlikely the Raiders will win a premiership in the next 12 to 24 months. They'll probably play finals footy because they're so gritty, but in 2 or 3 years, they could challenge because I do like what Ricky Stewart's doing right now, which is in his spine, he's going young. So he's getting the best young talent. So he's got the New South Wales under-19 fullback.
Yep.
He's got the New South Wales under-19 7, or is it Eels that have that?
There's a whole mess. He'll be there eventually.
He'll be there eventually.
I don't know if it's right now, but he'll be there eventually.
So basically, you're essentially getting the two key spots of young players. So I actually love what Ricky's doing. But are they going to be ready to win a comp this year coming? Probably not. The next year, maybe. We'll see how they go. But the year after that, then you can go, oh, hang on a sec. This is a super young spine, 2 to 3 years of experience, got a gun forward pack. Who knows? Who knows? So maybe maybe that's when they're looking to get him. I'm not sure, but yeah.
I don't love. Like, I want to see. There's something about the Titans this year and the next few years. So I really want them to have it all secure and stay for the next couple of years. So really excited. I hope the Titans can really challenge for the finals this year.
No, I agree. I'm excited for him for sure. Jimmy Maloney joins the Cowboys. Will join the Cowboys assistant coach, 2 years. He's had player coach role with a French team up until this year after finishing up from Catalans a few years back. I love this for this can't hurt at all for their attack. Imagine what Scotty Drinkwater's going to go to. Imagine the level that Dearden's going to go to. I think this is great for their attack.
And he's just a proven born winner.
Just a winner.
Ice in his veins.
Yep.
Plus, I did a lot of Origin camps with James Maloney. If he's 3 kilometers that way, you can still hear him.
Oh, really?
Like, he's just a locker room person. He's one of the greats. So yeah, he'll be good for him.
It's going to be interesting where the Cowboys go next year because they got such a friggin' good roster.
I still think they wildly underachieved this year. I think everyone agrees with that.
Massively. But like when you look at their roster, like Helam Lukey, Nanai, Taumalolo, like these guys are guns.
They're a top 4 roster potential.
I think so. When they're all playing their best, Reece Robson, you know what I mean? Dearden, like Robson, Origin, Dearden, Origin, Nanai, Origin, Lukey definitely could be Origin. Scotty Drinkwater will probably be Origin. You know what I mean? Like, It's a stacked Taulungi, Origin, Holmes, Origin. It's a stacked side.
Such a good team.
It's such a good side. So it's going to be really interesting to see because you don't want to waste these opportunities.
No.
Because like you only get these, they got friggin' like 5 or 6 Origin players. That's nearly as much as Penrith.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want to waste these opportunities.
Yeah. No, I'm backing. They had a poor year this year. I'm backing them to definitely. I'd be shocked if they miss the 8 next year.
Yeah, I'll be very surprised if they miss the 8. I'd be very surprised. I think that Peyton's probably found a really good balance on what he is as a coach now. He understands what to do and what not to do. I'm excited for him this year. As long as Townsend does his job and plays well, I think they'll go well.
Yeah, yep. I totally agree. And I'm excited to see Tommy Dearden again this year. Did you see he broke the 1.2 kilometre record?
Drinkwater did?
Nah, Dearden.
I thought it was Drinkwater.
I think it was Dearden.
I'm pretty sure it was Drinkwater. Let me look real quick.
Yeah. But yeah, keen to see what the Cowboys throw up this year. As you said, they have such a good team. I thought it was Dearden.
Yeah, Drinky smashes the 1.2 with a 4 minutes and 33 seconds.
Oh, Drinkwater. Fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes a lot more sense, to be completely honest.
So they're ripping and a tearing. To do it, to beat the record this early, that means that Drinkwater's had a big off season.
Yeah,
because they're not peaking. They're literally just started. That's probably his comeback time. So that spells really good future for the Cowboys. The fact that a key playmaker is coming back in that good a nick. Very exciting. Very exciting for the Cowboys.
How good.
We'll see how we go. I mean, the good thing about next year, I think, is there was a year where you could go, like the 8 was like easy to predict.
Yeah.
It is super hard to predict what the 8's going to be next year.
100%. I was listening to our review at the start when I was doing like the predictions. And even then, like everyone was like, yeah, I can see some teams coming up. Obviously, Warriors and Newcastle came out of nowhere. But everyone was kind of like, yeah, I can see teams coming up, but it's really hard to see what teams are going to drop out. And what happened, like, as we saw, 3 teams end up dropping out, which no one could have predicted. But now, what that has caused is so much uncertainty for next year. Because
if they bounce back,
like how's the top 8 can't fit the top 8 teams plus Para plus Rabbitohs plus Cowboys.
It's crazy.
It's gonna be so good.
It's such an exciting year.
It's gonna be tough to, as you said, to actually
get an 8
together.
Super hard.
Yeah, don't worry about the order. Just the 8 teams.
It's super hard.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, it's so far away, but
I'm already excited.
Yeah, league has never been in a better spot.
It truly
it's
has.
in an incredible, like the hype around rugby league is just, it's actually crazy right now. And heading into the new year, I just cannot wait. I think that's us done and doosted.
Yes.
Now, guys, 50% off sale. Make sure to do it because once it's done, we don't do them very often. We actually have no more planned. So we might do it next year. We might not. We'll see what happens. But at least for a minimum a year, we're not going to be doing it again. But as usual, we'll go fuck ourselves. Thank you.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.